So I am in the process of restoring a vintage G&L SB1 bass guitar, and I ordered brand new tuner keys for the SB1 from G&L, and it was on sale for like $12 each. So I am in the process of removing the old tuner keys. I am going to restore this by first degreasing them and then polishing them, and hopefully I can resell them to recoup for a little bit of the cost that I spent on buying the new tuner keys. Those keys are still perfectly fine. It's just there are a little bit oxidation on the keys, which I do not personally like for aesthetic reasons. So you can see I've already removed one of the tuning key here. It's only secured by 4 of those screws, and it's actually quite easy to do, okay, on removing those keys. They look chunky, they look like substantial, but the actual process for me is, first thing first, I just removed this holding nut for the main gear, okay? The holding nut is sitting on top of the main gear like this. Once you get it removed, you can actually pop the gears out. But I remove it because I want to relieve some of the pressure that's being applied to the gear, because there's a little springy tension that's being applied by that little piece of metal here. That metal is used for flipping and keeping pressure for the tuning key to turn, and also to change the direction of the tuning key. So those keys are actually dual directional. You can use it either on the left side or the right side. Basically, all you have to do is remove that little pressure plate, and then you can take this out and then flip the sides very easily. I want you to see the actual construction of the key, okay? So also there's one thing that you have to be really careful with this piece of metal. It actually comes with a plastic piece. Do not lose that plastic piece, and also remember which direction this plastic piece was resting on when you remove the keys. So when you put it back together, if you're doing a cleaning job, you know where exactly it goes. I didn't even notice there's a plastic key, plastic cover over there. So the next key I'm gonna take out, I want to take note on where this plastic piece sits. But otherwise, you know, you have your tuning gear over here, the warm gear. You have this thing which holds your bass strings. This piece goes to the front, as you can see. So you drop your bass strings there, and then it starts to turn, okay? It's secured by this little wedge over here. When you put this in the correct direction, and you can see this, there's also a little wedge here. You align those two, you can drop the key there like so. And it locks both of the gear and the little thing in place. So quite simple construction, and this is all the parts there is. 4 screws, the little pressure plate with a plastic pressure plate, you know, for the string, for the turning. That's it. Okay, so quite easy. I'm gonna remove the second one. I'm gonna tell you where that plastic piece rests, okay? Now you can see for the second tuning key, I loosed 4 screws. And apparently, you don't have to remove this piece that locks the gear. You can just directly plug this whole assembly out, you know, once you have this loosened. And the crown race right here just rests in there. When you go to G&L website, they don't recommend you getting this out because it might damage the finishing, and it might just directly pull a piece of wood out because it was very tightly fitted in here. So just keep this intact and only replace the remaining part of the tuning key. If you are also considering, you know, replacing with a new set. For this one, I'm taking it out, I'm restoring it. Yes, I'm putting a new set in, and I'm gonna keep that little crown race in there without removing them. But yeah, so my tip for you is you don't have to remove this. When you loosen those 4 screws, the whole key drops out. It's like super easy, okay? All right, I have the piece out. Again, just remove 4 screws. You can keep this intact if you don't want to remove it. This key, again, it's got secured to the gear by the pressure plate right there. I want to find out where that plastic piece goes. So I'm gonna pop it out using just the flat side of a small screwdriver that I have. Again, just play around and prying on all the gaps until it pops out, okay? It's aligned by those little two parallel lines here, okay? So again, just pop it out. All right, so I popped the gear out, okay? So they separate instantly once you pop this up and take it out from this little groove over here. Now I can tell you the plastic piece sits between the gear and the plate. So just remember that when you put it back on, make sure the plastic piece is in between this driver gear and the plate. It's not under this plate, it's actually on top of this plate when you see the G&L logo right here. All right, so that's pretty much all you need to know. I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the tuning keys. I'm gonna cleaning them, polishing them up, and maybe offer it up for sale. But I want to share this tip on how to remove the tuning key for the G&L UltraLite bass tuners. All right, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe to my channel. I will have more bass guitar restoration tips out for you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And alternatively, if you don't want to remove the actual key here, okay, you can just literally remove this screw and pop the gear out with the fixing screw still removed. You can just literally pop it out, okay? Use a little bit of the force, it'll pop out, and it's gonna look like this, a little weird, but really depending on what you need to fix, what you want to restore, removing this bass key is very, very simple and straightforward.